Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, I am dreaming of a white Christmas, a mono white aura Christmas. So I said I was going to retry this deck, and there's no better time than right now to try this in the current Avatar standard. And the idea of this deck is really just about putting auras on our creatures and try to, race our opponent to the finish line as quickly as possible. So we got cards like Ethereal Armor, which pumps like crazy to get us there, and a really hidden card from Spider-Man set that actually is kind of the MVP of the deck, a most helpful Weaver. I don't even know what it's called in Spider-Man, in Spider-Man proper. I'm gonna call this the Into the White Spider-Verse. That sounds racist. I don't know what it's called, but basically it's it gives you a spider, and then on Chapter 2 it gives a +1/+1 on a creature. None of that really matters. Chapter 3 is where all of a sudden it just gives a creature double strike. So imagine if we have any one creature that's left lingering, we immediately give it a double strike. Well, not immediately, but we give it a double strike on a turn that we can protect with a Shardmage Rescue, and then stack that up on the Ethereal Armor. That's an insane double strike. Now, imagine it also has, Feather Flight, so it's flying, and now our opponent can't really interact with it at all, and we fly over them for lethal. So that is the whole idea of how good this deck could be, and you can see the curve, right? It's just 1 and 2. That's it. Look at it. It's just the 2 fingers. 1 and 2. So let's talk about a deck list starting from just creatures. So for an aggro deck like this, we have to kind of talk about the splits. For the creature turn 1, we got 4 Optimistic Scavenger. This is a very good turn 1 creature that we want to drop. We also have 1 Lightstall Inquisitor. We went all the way down to 1 because I'm not sure if this card's still good. Because the meta is so aggressive, but somehow still deal with a lot of tap lands. So Lightstall Inquisitor is not as good as this other card. Veteran Survivor. 1 mana 2/1. Not crazy stats. Survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if this creature is tapped, we can exile a creature from a graveyard. That's already really good. This is just a graveyard hate on a beast stick. And we need a lot of graveyard hate against the Cavaro deck. So that's why there's 3 of these in the deck now. And we also, if we ever exile more than 3 or more cards with the ability, then this card also gets a +3/+3. It becomes a 5/4 and also has hexproof. That's right, hexproof. That is an insane ability to have on a 1-drop. So imagine this as a 1 mana 5/4 hexproof, then you will see the full potential of this crazy card. Now, of course, it's never really gonna happen, but our opponent doesn't know that. They're looking at this card and they're thinking about it as a 5/4 hexproofing, and they think they gotta kill it right away. And as they're doing that, we're building up the rest of our board. So this card is really, really good in doing that. So that's our 1-drop creatures. 2-drop creatures, we got 4 Spellbook Vendor. Of course, this card is really good because we sell books by paying an extra 1, and then that book make a creature a sorcerer, and then also sorcerer is a sorcerer's roll, which is an enchantment, and that will trigger our Optimistic Scavenger. So that's a very good card in the deck. We also have 4 Wonderweave Aerialist, another card from Spider-Man that I don't know the name in Spider-Man proper. I'm gonna say Spider Lady in the Flying Circus. I don't know what it is, but it's a 2 mana 2/2 Ward 2. That's already very good, right? It's not hexproof, but Ward 2 basically is hexproof in the early enough game, and not that many people is playing Nowhere to Run, so that is a good start. And then this creature has flying as long as it's modified. Modified is +1/+1 counter, enchantments, auras, well, enchantment/aura, and equipments. We don't have equipments, we have +1/+1 counters, and we have enchantments. So of course, a lot of times this card is gonna be flying. And then we also have the most helpful Weaver. This is don't let the enchantment fool you. The enchantment side, yes, it's a saga. It triggers Optimistic Scavenger, but it also creates a 2/1 spider. So it does help us put creatures on the board. So you can see here we have 8 + 12. 24 creatures total in our 60-card deck, meaning that we'll probably hit creatures more often than not. And then we then have our removal in 4 Seam Rip. That's the only removal in the deck that is unconditionally played by itself. We also have another removal in Shelter that we'll talk about later, but that's the enchantment side. We don't have O-rings or anything like that. But then we have our win cons. 4 Ethereal Armor and 4 Feather Flight for the win con, 4 Shardmage Rescue to protect, and 4 Shelter by Ghost to both removal, protect, plus lifelink, all of that in 1 card. This card, I don't even know why they... Whoever designed this card should definitely lose their job at Magic. This card is... Look at the effects, right? Just let's Can you cram any more effect onto this card? Why doesn't it also give it trample? It's also white, right? Yeah, let's make it so that it can flicker whenever we need to. At the end of turn, if we have more than 30 life, we win the game. Just add every different combination of ability on that card. This card is so insane. What is this? And then we have 20 lands. 20 lands in the deck because every card is either 1-drop or 2-drop. So 19 planks. And then just one Abandoned Air Temple. So all of our lands are going to come into play untapped, no matter what, except the Abandoned Air Temple on turn 1. But you wouldn't keep a 1-lander if it's an Abandoned Air Temple anyway, so that means you can play a Plains and then play the Air Temple turn 2. So every land would come into play untapped. The Air Temple is basically a plane, but if you pay 4 and tap, you can put a percentage count on each creature you control, which I don't honestly think it will ever happen because, you know, if I have 5 mana and the game hasn't ended, we probably already lost. So, you know, don't worry about it. If you don't have the Air Temple, just play another Plains. 20 Plains will be okay. And that's the whole idea of the deck. This is our aggressive, aggro, mono-white aura deck. Let's go into Standard and see how well it will do. Alright, our opponent is Jackson. Jackson? Jackson. Alright, our opponent goes first. They're very red. I got creatures, so I'm going to keep, but we'll see what happens. We can fly. Pretty fun. Aerialistic fun. What? Where am I? What happened? Is this still standard? I'm so confused. All I can say is what? Alright, you know what? Let's do this. Make them play tap lands. Maybe. I don't know. They got Lush Portico, so every land they have is probably already tapped. I just don't feel safe throwing on Optimistic Scavenger without like a protection or anything to back it up. Is that Overlord? Oh, okay. Huh. What? Did they just draw this? Game is down. Alright, let's survive. Do I want to take out his Phoenix down? Like... I guess return our creature, right? I don't want that to happen. You know what? Let's get rid of it. This looks like a reanimate deck, so he might just start reanimating. Don't want to let him reanimate too quickly. And if he plays Dredger's Insight here, cash grab, alright. Kona. Huh. It's a very interesting turn of events, I guess. I don't think I vent the Spellbook anyways this turn, but do I throw out the Spellbook? Alright, let's exile a card. Take out. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what graveyard hate I'm even doing here. I like to buy a book. I like to buy a vow. 4 mana Kona. Serimas. So is it a Kona on me? Searches for Kona, alright. Looks shady. Yeah, I don't know. If he just plays Kona, he taps it, and I'm out of stuff, right? I don't know, like, how am I gonna fight this? He's definitely playing Kona. He's definitely tapping it. He's definitely getting something out. I just don't know what it is that he's getting out. And how am I going to interact with it? I don't see it as omniscience, but I guess it could be, right? Dredger's Insight. Very well could be an omniscience deck. He's got 2 cards left. Prime Speaker. Alright, he draws 4 cards. This will be a flying 5/5, but he didn't do it. But since he didn't do it, I can just fly over him, right? Okay, you know what? I'll just fly over him. I decline his play. I don't know what his plan is, because this deck doesn't have omniscience. Like, he got Kona, but he died anyways. GG. Alright, our opponent is Snow Minaga. Minaga? Migna? We go first. Scavenger. No, our Scavenger needs to survive. I don't know if it will. They look kind of like a black deck, but we got creatures for days. Yeah, let's put 2 creatures up. Won't be as easy to answer. If he does not put up a response, gonna have a bad time. Well, I can't afford to buy the book. Right? I can't afford to buy the book anyway. If he split up here... Oh, it's dead. GG. You can't take 3 turn off against an aggro deck and expect to win. Double strike on Mr. 3-2 here. Yeah, right? You're not eating that. Good game, Snow Minga. Alright, our opponent is Potato. Well, that is a very cool name, and that's why he gets to go first. Maybe. Momo. Do we slow them down? Yeah, let's slow them down. Shelter by Ghost. Giada. Alright, probably gonna try to shelter. Now, do I get rid of the Giada or do I get rid of the Momo? Is he gonna just run out his shelter? He is gonna just run out his shelter. That's unfortunate. Oh, okay. Less unfortunate. I thought he was gonna take out the Seam Rip there. But since he didn't take out the Seam Rip, I got less of an issue. Gotta go fast. Resplendent Angel. Not gonna attack. Not into this. Right? Yeah, no way. That would be weird if he did. Alright, do we get this? Vigilance? Not against that deck, no. Pay 6 to give it flying, so I don't think you can do that. Useful Valk is not good enough yet. It's got 1 card left. I knew it was a shelter. Now you can't attack me and I'm gonna get double strike, so you have to block. Alright, what do I do here? I can give this Aerialist flying. Or I can give my Spellbook Vendor flying. Seems like a good card. Yo, this is double strike. Our opponent just gave up. Good game. I even got the Seam Rip top deck, but I guess he went back to being a potato. Alright, our opponent is Kim Lember. Hello, Kim Lember. Kim Lember goes first. We can't win any games on an aggro deck going second all the time. Maybe? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh boy. More people roping. Pew. Oh. Oh, Fate Weaver. The Spooderman deck. Is Death Touch in reach? Yeah, I don't have that many things in the graveyard for Survivor to actually survive on. I don't know what deck they're doing though. I mean, we gotta have to find out. Oh, okay, never mind. I do know what they're doing now. Immediately bring her, huh? Are we getting on it? I don't know how much of this is gonna matter, because you could probably just draw and discard Caveros or mill Caveros. We all know how lucky these decks are. Yeah, that won't do it. I need another land there. There's no way for me to draw a land and a shelter. I guess I can do this. Alright, he hits 3 lands. Well deserved, jerk. Cash grab? Oh, he doesn't even have it. He wants another Awaken the Undead. I mean, I got sheltered by days. Just gonna have to discard again. Another bringer. Dude, that's so many shelters. Might as well stack these. You can discard a creature to get... well, discard a card to return a creature, right? So, if he wants his Anduin, he can get it back. Cavero's gonna come in and deal 4 damage, right? Another creature control. Okay, well, he's not even getting another creature, so he's probably kind of trying to gain that life. We got double ward. Come on, survive. Dude, you're a 1. What? Buddy. GG. You don't know what he was planning on, but he was at 1. So now he's dead. Alright, our opponent is the Boss Ant. Well, maybe the Boss Ant can learn about capitalizations. We go first. Which is nice, but let's see what that brings us. Optimistic Scavenger. Oh. Well, if you're not gonna do anything, then we're gonna be flying around and aerializing. Aerializing? I play a Helpful Weaver. You know what? Let me play it. See what he does. I already have ward. Can't really target an aerial with. Three mana. Stock up. Oh boy. Him playing nothing is very frightening, because then I have nothing. I can make this spider legendary. Mine. I don't think the Seam Rips won't hit much. Alright, we get Black Sun, we're just dead. Nothing we can do. What happens when our opponent goes first? If we went first, they'd be dead. So, I guess as the boss, they have what's up. No? Alright. If you're not gonna do anything, then get ready to die. You're at 7. I got a double striking 4/4. I can't imagine anything going on here that wouldn't matter. Counter spell? He's gonna tap my creature. Shoot the sheriff. Pay the war. I protect. GG. Yeah, game over. I guess he was not the boss. He did not have his son on him. Alright, our opponent is Jeulo. He is a Dauntless Drafter. Buddy, can you let me go first? One game? Once? One game? Huh? No? Probably not. What am I thinking? Oh, look, I can survive. Now, can I actually survive is the question. Especially against removal.deck. Alright, well, we get to survive, but nothing to exile here. Get an Aerialist out. Maybe there's a counterspell. Get quenched. Punished for not playing first. Storm Chaser's Talent. I think I just Seam Rip the 1/1. I need to draw lands. Let's fly. I did draw a land, that's very nice. I force him to fish. I need to survive this, and I don't know if I can. Oh, I survived. I'm giving myself a hexproof. You just let that happen? Alright, I'm having hexproof now. Probably gonna draw a card, right? Let's get a helpful Weaver out. Or do I want an Aerialist out? Let's get a Weaver out. He's gonna abandon his attachments. Ooh, he's abandoning accumulated wisdom. He probably has more, to be honest. Like, there's a deadly cover-up. I'm not gonna say much against a deadly cover-up. Is his deck full of deadly cover-ups? Let's find out. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay. I have Ward. So, yeah. Double strike, +1. Now I fly, or double fly, but it's 4 damage, so GG! Ah, we got there. Even against a boar wipe. Nice. Alright, our opponent is El Darbo. Eredabo. Opponent goes first again. Yeah, well, why am I not surprised? Forest, now we're out. I mean, we kind of have to do it. Gotta pull the bird, because we went second. Can't let them have the ring. Tifa. Just gotta keep bolting the bird, right? Chocobo. I swear to God, if you fight this. fight spell, so at least I got lucky in that. Is it interaction here? Nope. No interaction there. No interaction there. Take 7. We're gonna have to try to get there as quickly as possible. A Hydra is very scary and it doubles really quickly. No lands though. Oh boy, our opponent didn't have land. This is wild. I don't think I get there. I guess I can just all on attack and see what how he blocks. If he doesn't block, I have 1, 2, 3. No, it's 13. Exactly 13 damage for lethal. He has to block. So he is trying to kill the veteran survivor. Alright, can they kill me with the Hydra on 1 turn? Oh! I guess if your draw is that lucky. Nope, it's not. If he had a shot, okay, let's do the math here, right? This is insane. They can hit the land drop, shock land, or not fetch land. If they hit like an escape tunnel or something, that's 4 land drops or 4 land triggers. So that would be times 2 would be 2, times 2 would be 4, times 2 would be 6, times 2 would be 8, and times 2 again would be 16. Not quite lethal, I think. I hope I did the math right, but anyways, we won. Alright, our opponent is Valuk. Valaluk. This is very hard to pronounce. Alright, this has been like 12 games in a row that we went second, which is insane. But hey, you know, that's how Arena works, right? You go second. I wonder who goes first. If everyone goes second, who goes first? They go back a card. They play Swamp. And they're gonna duress us. There's only one reason to have this long of a stall. Oh, okay. I guess not duress. It's a discard. Right. They're gonna take our veteran survivor. And we'll have to figure out what to do from there. Nice draw. Playing against discard deck, going second without any sort of tempo advantage is very scary. And their deck just got removal for days, so I don't know how I'm gonna hit it. Duress, okay. Probably take my Shardmage, maybe the Ethereal Armor. Those two are the only cards that he would take, and either of those are bad for me. Ruthless Negotiate. I mean, I don't need the Seam Rip, so... I don't need the Seam Rip, buddy. I guess he didn't read the memo. Oh boy, okay. Something happening here? Watery Grave, he has blue in his deck. Probably a counterspell, but he didn't want a shock, so he has no blue cards. He does have nowhere to run. Hits the Spellbook Vendor. I mean, it's not like I have Ward. Ah, did it wrong. I missed the damage. It's since I missed the damage, I'm gonna Seam Rip this. I get more damage next time. Potentially he has like a bounce. Maybe it's a self-bounce discard deck. He does have blue. But then if I have a bounce, he just bounce my Seam Rip, right? Second nowhere to run. That's fun. He just got removal for the next decade. Yeah, he just got removal for the next decade. He can sack his Momentum Breaker. Now, I see nowhere to run, right? So I kind of have to put this on. Also, I do see the Ruthless Negotiation. I give it a just dies. I can hope he draws dead. He draws a removal, I'm dead. It's kind of drawing dead, right? I can trick him into... No, he's not going to play it next turn. I can trick him to play his Ruthless Negotiation. That would use up all his mana. Then he gets hit by the double strike. I can hope he draws dead. I don't have ward or anything. Just shoot the Sheriff will kill my Giant Spider. But I don't think he would play the Ruthless Negotiation because he just dies. He's got one card, right? I don't think he'll survive with that one card. He can sack the land, he bends Talon. That does not help. Yeah, right? I trick him into playing cards rather than not dying, so he'll be dead. Double strike. How does he live? I have... Oh, okay. He's thinking of Momentum Breaker. Well, let's show him. Show him the flying. This is +2, I think. Because it's an aura, it pumps the, yeah. That's 14 damage. GG. We got there. All you did was discard. Maybe you should try to win. Alright, our opponent is... Glansman? Is that... Okay, our opponent is a Glansman. Opponent goes first. Yes, of course. Why wouldn't opponent go first? Turn 1, greedy freebooter. Would he have a sacrifice? I mean, I gotta get Temple on board. I have 1 Lightstall and 3 Exile the graveyard. I draw this. Fun. Will he have a sack immediately on turn 2? There it is, Obsessive Pursuit. Alright, does this do anything when you attack? Lose 1 life and create a clue. So it doesn't really do anything, right? It's about the Lightstall. Make him play a little bit behind. Take out a free boost. You can have your clues. You can take so much damage. Tap red. And nowhere to run. Okay. This is gonna be an uphill battle now, because of the nowhere to run. And what that tells me about this deck. So I can +6 on this. It's not quite lethal, right? If only I drew a land there. Is it a ship turn? It's not a good idea to ship. He also can't play Besiege because he's got one red instead of black. And if he just lets it go, I think we might be able to win. Well, no. Yeah, I guess if I draw another Ethereal Armor or a Shardmage Rescue, that's the only way I can win. Actually, no, this is 6, right? I put another one on. It's +3. Well, +1, 2, 3. +4. So yeah, that's lethal if he just taps out. Because he's too obsessive with his pursuit. Oh, what the hell is this? Decklist Chase. Create a tap. Attacks. For each opponent, create a tap token that copies... What? Was that it? I don't know what that was, but GG. Okay, you dead. Goodbye, Glensman. We hardly knew your weird Mardu Siegebreaker deck. Alright, props to our opponent for trying, but nope, no siree. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those aggressive white Christmas deck games, how does this deck feel? Is this a fun deck for you to play? I would imagine it is. It is a very strong deck. It's very fast. And usually whenever I play these kind of monocolor aggressive decks, I get a lot of comments in the video that people love it. People really like the aggressive decks, which I get, right? You know, arena's full of ropers and arena's full of people who aren't really trying to let other people have fun with their control wonky decks, so you really want to be able to push through and win some games. This is definitely one of those decks that can help you do that. And unfair as it might, because it has all these protection spells and flies over and does all these quick wins, I did go second a lot in today's games. And going second is almost a death sentence for this deck, right? You would imagine that 50% of the time you go first, and in those games you would win about 80-90% of the time, and in the other 50% you go second, and in those games you probably only win about 30% of the time, and you can average it out to be a 60% win rate deck, which this deck is. However, what I've noticed is that somehow Matchmaker has been putting me up against nowhere to run decks every game, and nowhere to run basically shuts down half of this deck's strategy. Right? We don't have the ward, we don't have the Shardmage Rescue's Hexproof, we don't have the Shelter by Ghost, we don't have any of that having its effect, so Nowhere to Run definitely hard counters this deck. The only reason why this deck is doing so well is because Nowhere to Run is not that good of a card against almost any other matchup, so I would say that as long as you're okay with that kind of scenario, this deck is insanely good. Otherwise, this is why I don't like to play these kind of aggro deck that often, because I know Matchmaker is going to screw me over and just match me up with everybody that runs 4 Nowhere to Runs and 4 Black Suns, Day of the Black Sun, and then just keep having board wipe decks, and that would keep this deck down. But again, very strong deck. If you learn how to play it, if you like aggro, this deck will go the distance. It'll take you to Mythic if you wanted to. And that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys next time.